Moving on to microcomputer system software. This is Chapter 4, Visible Windows. Microsoft entered the operating system market in the early 1980s with a program called Microsoft Disk Operating System, or MS-DOS. It operated on a floppy disk, not the small 3.5 inch that you may remember. It is the larger 5.25 inch disk. The earliest Windows versions were simply a graphical overlay on top of the MS-DOS command line. Windows 3.1, which came out in about 1992, was the first Windows program that was not an overlay, or simply an overlay. It was also the very first popular version of Windows. Following that, Windows 98, Windows XP, Windows 7 were also popular and stable operating systems. It appears that their problems skip a generation, which gives me hope for Windows 9. The file allocation table, or FAT, was a file system in use through Windows 98. NTFS, or NT file system, the NT stands for New Technology, was introduced with Windows NT in about the year 2000. We still use NTFS in Windows 8 today. XP Pro was the first Windows version that allowed you to log into domains because Windows NT Server was the first server software that actually had domains. XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8 all come in 64-bit versions. You need to remember that XP version 64 required actually for you to have separate 64-bit software. It would not run 32-bit software. So you had to upgrade your software to run it. Basically, every version of Windows currently on the market, or on the market in the last many years, supported multiple users on the same machine. And the primary interface in Windows is the desktop, which is the reason that Windows 8 is so unpopular. It doesn't have a desktop. Or at least doesn't have a desktop that appears to be a desktop. Important items on the desktop include the taskbar, which is usually at the bottom of the screen, but can be arranged on any side of the screen or the top. The Start button, except in Windows 8. Quick Launch toolbar next to the Start button. It's where you can pin software to launch quickly. And the notification area, which usually has the clock and the date nowadays. This is where you receive any kind of notification from your computer. You get access to your drives, folders, and files using either My Computer or Computer in Windows, which is usually on the Start menu unless you're using Windows 8. And once you open up your drive or folder, you're going to be using Windows Explorer, which is a tool for exploring or maintaining and managing files. The recycle bin is where deleted files are stored. They are not truly deleted until you empty the recycle bin. Windows also has a multitude of shortcut keys and key combinations. For instance, Windows key with the pause break key gets you straight to the system menu. The Windows key with the L key locks your system, or you have to log back in. So if you're getting up from your computer and you don't want anybody to mess with it, Windows L will lock that system. Obviously, there's also key combinations that are useful in almost any program, such as Control-C and Control-V. That is cut and paste. That will work in almost any word processing program ever. Also, the Control-Shift-Escape key is one I've begun using. It takes you straight to the Task Manager without having to click about 4 different times to get there. The root or system root is the name given to the folder where the operating system is installed in Windows. This is generally C:\Windows. You can see at the top there in the address bar. Programs store usually all of their essential files in a folder called Program Files. In 64-bit machines, there's 2 of these folders. One of them is called Program Files x86, where it generally stores 32-bit programs. Personal documents are usually stored in the Users folder, and oftentimes in the Documents folder inside the Users folder. Windows does offer many tools to allow a technician to configure, optimize, tweak, install, and more. One of those is the control panel. The control panel handles upgrade, maintenance, and configuration tasks. The device manager allows you to examine and configure computer hardware and drivers. It will also tell you if there's a problem with the drivers on the little icon. It will put an exclamation point of some kind. The System Tools folder gives you access to utilities such as Disk Cleanup, Disk Defragmenter, also Windows Easy Transfers there, and System Restore. You can get to a command prompt, which is a box window that looks much like a DOS prompt. The command line interface gives you access to command line commands, very DOS-like commands. Microsoft Management Console, or MMC, is a phrase you'll be hearing a lot. It's a shell that basically holds individual utilities called snap-ins, because you can snap in the ones you want. A good example of an MMC is the pre-configured MMC called Administrative Tools in the control panel. It is basically a collection of pre-configured MMC snap-ins to help administrators administrate the computer. And finally, the Action Center allows you to see at a glance what issues need to be addressed on any PC. And as always, remember to keep calm and document everything.